Welcome to the Quantum Time Traveller, where we journey beyond time and space to unlock the universe's deepest secrets. I'm your host, Emma Bushell, and together with my co-host, Suzi Edwards, we'll guide you through channeled experiences and soul truths, revealing ancient wisdom and higher dimensions. In episodes, we'll also welcome invited guests to share their own spiritual revelations and cosmic insights. Prepare to expand your mind and elevate your spirit as we uncover the mysteries of existence. This is the Quantum Time Traveller, where the universe speaks, and we're so excited for you to join us on our journey. Welcome to the Quantum Time Traveller with Emma Bushell and Suzi Edwards. Suzi is the soul guide navigating me in my trance channel. For this particular episode, we're going to be talking about what it really means to be a human being living in your existence on Earth as somebody who is, in fact, multi-dimensional. And this poses so many questions that we want to just break down the myths and all of the fluff around what that actually means so that we can understand purely who we are. What do you think, Suzi?
Absolutely. It's definitely a buzzword at the moment, isn't it? Multidimensionality. But I don't feel that a lot of people really understand what that means and how that relates to us in our 3D existence. So I think it's good. We're going in to find out more from your higher intelligence and your channeled beings to really connect into what this means and perhaps how we can all connect into our multidimensionality.
Yeah, and for those people that are listening, please comment and feedback, because if you're not sure or understanding of anything, then this is a prime opportunity to really reach out and understand and integrate your learning with us. Because there's people here that won't have a clue what we're talking about, and there's people that will be completely seasoned. So we're asking for people to do that. Like, for example, Suzi just mentioned about being in the 3D. Now, for some people, you haven't got a clue what that actually means. And this is podcast is really all about stretching your view, your perspective of things and learning, but also um challenging yourself to understand it. And multidimensionality is so complex because it is multidimensional that there's so much in our world, in our energetic world, that we just have no visibility to. However, we do have all of our other senses that create an experience as a human being, whether you're fully aware of it or not. And it's that we're going to tap into on a deeper level here today. So, an interesting one. We never know what's going to happen when we're in channel, and we never know what's going to come through, but let's reveal all of the secrets.
Fantastic. So Emma's just going to prepare herself, and then I will guide her in, connect with the beings that Emma is channeling so that we can understand on a much deeper level what being multidimensional really is, what it means, and how it affects our day-to-day lives, and how we can use this energy to help to move us forwards as well. Okay. So who are we speaking to at the moment?
The energy that's coming through for me today is very pure, high frequency light. Um, I don't label energy. I tend to have things come through that I feel and sense until they become known to me. But the energy I'm receiving today is just
one of purity of light. And I feel that's about beings of truth, actually. This is just giving clear truth information in light form at the moment. This is how it's coming through. It will probably come through in a deeper level as we're working through, and we can revisit this.
Okay. How is it making you feel?
The energy today is really fast. It's very high frequency, meaning it's coming through very quickly. It's like a white energy, a white pure energy source. Um, it's making me feel in my physical body rapid. What I mean by that is that my heart is slightly elevated, slightly palpating, like, as in palpitation, not palpitations, but it's a rapid, more rapid heart rate, which is quite normal when I'm trancing. Um, I just have to settle this a little bit because it's quick.
Okay. We'll give you a second to slow it down. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So are we speaking to you today, Emma, or are we speaking directly to your channeled beings?
I'm half and half, half trance, half self at the moment.
Okay.
At the moment.
At the moment. Okay. I will channel the questions or ask the questions to you, and we'll see what happens as we move forwards. So, can you explain what multidimensionality is?
Multidimensionality is a system whereby we are working in symmetry with our natural state of being. We're not aware of how we're working in a multidimensional state because it will be too much for the human to understand, um, going about day-to-day living if you're thinking about being multidimensional, because the human mind won't be able to understand that concept. So therefore, the multidimensional state is one of, um, an experience, living in an experience of being multidimensional. Um, and that is about the human protection system so that we are not shocked into realizing how powerful we actually are to be working multidimensional all at the same time in different states of being. Different states of being, meaning we are different light beings all at the same time in our soul's truth, in our soul's contract here on earth. I'm now going into full channel now, where Emma is kind of stepping aside. I can feel that in my body and in my state of being. So, light beings reside in your multidimensional state.
Okay. Is there anything that they would like to add about being multidimensional?
Multidimensional is the access to higher realms, other realms of dimensional states of being which reside in a frequency that are all different levels of frequency at all different times. And you access this by receiving channeled information all at the same time. And this is to understand knowledge and wisdom that you've been holding in your wisdom and knowledge as a human being, but as a soul. Your soul is your record. You are a record keeper. That's it. You have a data of records in your soul, in your memory, in your cells. And the access to multidimensionality are based on frequencies that each bank of memory, let's put it, this is what they're showing the channel. The bank of memory is access to unlock that wisdom in that frequency on that soul life level. And that's happening all at the same time in different dimensional realities.
Okay, so does that mean that they are simultaneous lifetimes happening all at the same time?
Yes,
And we can access any of these lifetimes to gain information?
yes,
Does the simultaneous lifetimes include past lives that we have experienced?
yes.
Okay. What does this actually mean for us as human beings?
It depends on the intention of why you want to access this information. Information is there to access, overcome. For example, I'm being shown a past life can actually affect your present life as you're living it now, for good and bad. And sometimes we're needing to access a past life to move forward in our present reality, in our present human experience. Um, However, for the purposes of this exercise, we are accessing wisdom from past lives simultaneously happening all at the same time for Emma's channel to retrieve wisdom and knowledge she has lived and is living in a previous existence, previous soul incarnation that actually needs to be brought to light in this moment of presence, in this podcast, in this time.
Does that mean also that you can connect in with future lifetimes and timelines?
You can connect with future timelines. However, this is to do with the manifestation of something specific you want to live and desire. So it works differently to access. It's a different set of principles to access the art of manifestation, bringing into your reality your future.
In order to access that, do we need to connect into past lives that are affecting us now?
No.
Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to share about being multidimensional?
Multidimensionality is an access point to retrieve information that you hold. And innovation, change, thought process, ways of doing new things, and also accessing the way you want to live as a human being in this experience is determined by this access point because a lot of people do not live happily or fulfilled in their present life because of the conditioning that we're living and we're brought up in. It's a way of unlearning, going back to your original almost birth point, your birth access point when you came into this world as a true essence, as a true soul. This was the point that actually was never determined in this lifetime to be clouded so that you could actually live your true reason for being here on earth, regardless of the access of multidimensional realities before that in previous lifetimes. You're here for the purpose that you're meant to when you actually are born. And a lot of people aren't living that happily. So therefore, lots of people have awakenings to go back to their original state. And their original state is one of true fulfillment. And also innovation and change and purpose, because that wisdom that you hold is actually unique to yourself in your multidimensional being, and nobody else has that blueprint. Nobody else is you. And you create as a powerful human being, you do not realize how powerful you are with that information that you hold because you create change and future impact in the world, which is why you're here on Earth, because Earth school is the hardest school to be in your lifetime, regardless of previous lifetimes.
Amazing. So can everybody access this point of multidimensionality?
Yeah,
And why is it so important right now?
because Earth is residing people that are awakening at this time at a grand scale because people are not being fulfilled in their lives as much as they want, and they're looking for more or more meaning or more purpose, and they're trying to understand why they feel the way they feel, but they also, which is why you have this feeling of deep wanting to change or do something completely different with meaning. And that's only the feeling of going back to your original state when you were born. That's that feeling. That deep feeling is just purely that because you're not that. And it's a way of people wanting to go back to that. That's why people find that they're missing something because actually it's at such a deep soul level. That's the feeling you feel is that. So that you can live with your true unique purpose of what you're meant to be here for on earth because you are multidimensional, you're a light being in a human body.
Amazing. Amazing. So we have done a podcast on your soul-led mission, which will lead more into the understanding of why you're here, what you're here to do, and how you can find more fulfillment in your life. I can't remember what number podcast that is, but it will be there for you
It's
to
the
refer
next
to.
one.
It's
It's
the
the
next
next
one.
It's the next.
Aha, there you go. It's the
It's
next
number
one.
eight. It's number eight.
Oh, brilliant. So you can connect into more of that. So let's just ask Emma's channel if there's anything else that needs to be shared today to give deep understanding of multidimensionality and perhaps what your next steps are to help you to connect into this amazing energy.
Can you just ask them separately?
Yes. Is there anything else that you would like to share about being multidimensional?
I'm just getting the image of a stream of light or a stream of water, like a stream of a river. It really is about flow. And when you receive information, when you're in channel, when you're just living your life and suddenly something pops into your thought, because you've created a space, multidimensionality can't breathe without oxygen. And meaning, yes, you're going around breathing as a human being, but actually your mind needs that to breathe and give the flow of space in your mind to receive information. So many times people are going around disconnected from their heads and their hearts because they're too busy, they've got too much going on, and they're thinking about the next thing because life is busy. When you're in a state of being to receive information like channeling, you're allowing your mind to open up and give space to receive information in the first place. And so many people can't or won't sit still enough to do that, which is why sometimes when you're on holiday or you're in a period of rest, like illness, you suddenly start to feel and see things differently or have different ideas come in and change things when you go back to work or come back home or whatever you are, because actually all you've done is give it space to receive it. And this is part of the practice of being multidimensional, is receiving that information so that you can make changes or just sidestep a little bit as what you've been doing all the way along to create a different way of being in yourself. And that's a really small part of being multidimensional. We just don't label it like that. We just see it as I was ill and I thought of something different, so I'm going to do it. Or I was on holiday and I had this brainwave. That's really what it means without it becoming too scary for people to think they're living all at the same time in all different states of beings in all different lives. It's easier to digest, isn't it, really?
Definitely. So collectively, what are our next steps to connect into our multidimensionality?
It's having the want and the desire to want to actually learn more, and have the respect for that. Because if you can imagine, you've lived thousands of lifetimes with thousands of records. We call them records because it's just data. It's kept in your cells, in your memory. And if you can imagine how much data you hold in your human, in your body, it blows your mind just thinking about that. And it's infinite. It's an infinite data. And collectively, if every single human being had a very small amount of access to that record or way of channeling information to um, return back to really why you're here and live a life of fulfilled purpose and meaning, how powerful is that? Because you hold, not only do you hold that information, but you also hold complete different innovations of things that haven't even been birthed yet. You might have, why are innovators, we can name so many, coming up with things that are changing the face of humanity and of Earth, of thought patterns, of leading. But that data's come from somewhere. Yes, it's research, but it's also come from them.
Mm,
That they have that access to that information. They've learned to be able to access their multidimensional states of being to receive that coding, that wisdom, that knowledge. And if we all knew that we were capable of that, rather than just surviving and not thriving in an existence that we're here to live, think how different the world would be.
mm. That was my next question. If 50% of the world was connecting into their multidimensionality, how different would the world be?
I think we'd be a lot more advanced.
Hmm.
I think technologies, um, ways of systems and ways of operating. I think we would collectively unite against systems that are not here for the greater good of humanity and exploiting and corrupting a lot of people through, um, the top companies that seem to run the world. There will be an absolute united feeling of lots of different people creating lots of different things for everybody rather than just capitalism
Hmm.
of humanity. It will be completely different and it will be
Yeah.
exciting and it will be refreshing to actually lead the earth in more advanced civilizations, more advanced technologies, and more advanced ways of living
Hmm.
on Earth.
That's actually protecting the earth rather than
Yeah.
abusing.
Yeah, yeah. As a collaboration of minds
Hmm.
and of information, in higher intelligence information that you hold because you are multidimensional.
Yeah.
It's
It's
a completely
amazing.
different way of looking at life.
Mm.
But so many
Very much
people
so.
don't think they can do that, or that's a load of rubbish, or because you haven't actually had that either awakening
Hmm.
or you don't think it's possible.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, where we go into societal beliefs and ancestral patterns and all the things
Yeah, absolutely.
that hold us back.
It's all possible. Everything is possible. Everything is possible with the right access and the belief that you can actually be something more than you are, and you can actually you hold that information right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a case of connecting into it.
Yeah, and giving yourself permission to access it.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so that was a great session. Did you want to ask anything else? Well,
I
I'm
don't think so. I think you've covered everything. Your channel has covered everything very
yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Feedback necessary. Engage with us. Ask questions. And we view everybody's engagement, and we also kind of bend the show a little bit to come up with themes as well to accommodate people's learning. So yeah,
Absolutely.
awesome. Thank you so much.
Amazing. And next week we'll be talking about soul-led mission. That will give you more
Yeah,
information on how to live a more purposeful, fulfilling life.
yeah, yeah. Good lead on.
Perfect. Fantastic. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, thanks so much for listening and the Quantum Time Traveler.